Okay, so getting 12 stunts was actually pretty hard in one combo, but now we don't need to do that anymore, so I think we should be okay. Now I can do more in the way of tricks that actually give sensible points amidst everything else. So getting lots of points isn't actually too bad, because since you can weaponize both doing short tricks that just increase your multiplier and bigger tricks that actually increase your base score by a considerable amount. I'm having a really hard time doing said bigger tricks right now for some reason. That gives you a lot to work with. Like that. So I'm not going for much in the way of like singular really big combos like I oftentimes like to here, but yeah, that's not a good place to jump out of, because you tend to go straight into that truck. You're not too far off from what we need, but come on. I could use a bit more in the way of like really big jumps. Oh, come on. I feel like if I had just a little bit more in the way of combos that had a big base score, plus a couple little tricks. Jeez. I only got the first 3. I think I have plenty of potential to get some pretty good combos here. But I do expect to get fewer combos that add up to a decent score here, not good. Back. Endo, please. Darn. See, if I could have taken that and just done a little bit more in the way of... What? Why'd you put me up here? This jump is so horribly placed. So there's a really good base score. See, stuff like this. Something like that. Sculpting is unusually long compared to all the other triangle tricks, which always concerns me whenever I do it, compared to say like no hand or heel clicker, well, yeah, just any of them. But there we go. Yeah, you really just have to get in. It's one of those things where like the better you do, your points scale very, very quickly compared to your performance, I feel like, when it comes to the whole combo thing. Because you can just keep one combo going and you can do well with it, you get an insane amount of points. Whereas if you just break that up into 2 smaller combos, you actually get way fewer points. Anyways. So, we should probably move on to a little bit more pro stuff. Because as fun as freestyle is, I don't want to do only that. Construction site's the next one. Let's do similar to Scrapyard, in my opinion. Oh well. But, in City Park, geez, these are all... City Park is a little bit different. But, man, I wish it was less... These are all 3 just kind of urban-ish ones. And Ice Rage is just kind of boring, in my opinion. Okay. The only one... The only other one that kind of... Well, I do like these two, and well, yeah, I do like these two, both, but they're just too similar. I feel like to the one I just did. They're all together. Rose Backyard's kind of fun. There is, I think, one that shows up later. Or maybe it's only available in free play or something. I'm not sure. But there's an extra stage. Anyways, let's get into that enduro. Question: Can or should, also tires, should we buy a better bike at this point? Should probably take a look at the stats on this ATV first. What are we working with right now? So, pretty good acceleration. Maybe like 8% acceleration, 60% top speed, and 30% everything else. Since we do have some cash on hand now, literally 1 credit away from this one. This one's fairly similar except for just better handling. I think I'm more interested in this, probably. I might be obsessing a bit too much over... maybe? This one has really good acceleration, still decent top speed, plus really good cornering. I feel like this is why I'm more interested, even though it's probably waiting a bit too long in terms of buying new bikes. But at the same time, I don't think these two bikes are necessarily going to give me a big edge right now. I have also been thinking I probably should buy better exhaust. I might bite the bullet and just buy this thing, because this is a pretty big bump. Or if I really wanted either top speed or acceleration, just buy one of these. It is cheaper, but I don't know if I just want one of those. Having a lot of both stat would be really nice. I might buy this, honestly. It's a pretty big bump to my stats, as much as it costs. But I net bumped it. That's considerable bump to one stats is pretty important. I think I will. Make sure we actually have that thing on here. I keep the tuning just regular right now. But, parts-wise, I only have the two. So that's a small bump to my acceleration, but a good, pretty big increase to my top speed as well. I guess I wasn't really comparing to my existing exhaust, and I thought of how much the stat increase was, but oh well. I don't even notice the difference between these things, man. Whatever. Okay, so that leaves us with pretty good stats. It actually leaves us with really good top speed and acceleration. We just have awful handling, which is probably a part of why I do so poorly, by the way, now that I think about it in Supercross. Because Supercross has lots and lots of hard turns, like all the hairpins, which means it's probably contributing to me losing a lot of speed on those turns. There's a thought. So maybe one reason I have so much difficulty on that is I've kind of optimized myself for other event types. And also just 1 second, sorry. Okay, anyhow. Let's see how rough these guys are to race. Question remains of how much tougher these guys will be now that we're nominally pros. Let's try to get over that fence and not hit it. It's probably not the right place to be. Yeah. Yeah. Not the right route to take there. That's fine. Figuring out the route is part of enduro anyways. we're taking different routes here, it looks like. I think someone just jumped straight into the water, basically. It's a different route is a generous way of describing that. I'm taking a different route, too. Different meaning wrong in this context. Alright. Don't feel too bad yet about being a little behind because I've just been taking bad routes, but when I haven't been doing that, I've been catching up just fine, so I don't feel like I'm in over my head here or anything. Promise that wasn't deliberate, but I also don't care, so it doesn't really matter. Honestly, it doesn't feel like I have bad handling by most metrics, even though the game claims I have very bad handling. Like I said, I make pretty tight turns pretty frequently. The only time I ever felt like I had a hard time with handling was when I was doing that little snow short race. The short race at Glacier Resort, which, yeah, was rough. That's great, because of the inherent slickness of the snow, I think. That's definitely not the right place to cut through, I don't think. Get out of the way, trees! Or corpses thereof. Need some real speed here, though, jeez. Come on, game. You need to acknowledge the possibility of landing at a slight angle. This is a thing that I assure you humans are capable of doing without slamming their faces into the dirt. Right. This is still on lap, too, jeez. Okay, there it is. Alright, so the question is, how well can we remember everything we just did for the sake of taking a better route the next time? It's not too hard to break ahead, I'm not finding. Just need to not take absolutely awful paths or wipe out on things. Honestly, I'm honestly kind of surprised how consistently I gain everyone just by well, not remaking it. Okay, jeez, I was so much faster than that guy that I knocked him over by hitting from behind. I guess I just have a way higher top speed than these guys, which granted, I do have a really high top speed stat at this point, and acceleration. That's the thing, I am kind of a speed demon at this point, I guess. I just have nominally bad handling, which I only notice, I think, maybe if I'm in Supercross. I need to actually try to get myself some bike with really good handling and see if I notice how much better it handles, because right now, it might be one of those situations where I just don't realize what I'm missing out on. I don't feel like I handle poorly, despite having supposedly bad handling, but that was me wondering if I could actually take the guy out, but okay, so now we have to contend again with all the stumps in this part, which is a problem. Ah, God, you can't see those. They're downhill. Right as you go over the hill, they just show up out of nowhere. Oh, come on. That is the gentlest angle I'm hitting the ground at there. This is not the right way to go in here, I don't think. There we go, get back on the road. Okay, we have a good deal of catching up to do, actually. Which that has not helped. I do lose some stability at high speeds, certainly, but I'm not usually going such high speeds. That's usually only if I'm going down a really big hill. If that happens. So we're starting the last lap in last, which does not bode well. At the same time, it's such a long lap that we have plenty of opportunity to catch up regardless. If you just removed all the wipeouts, I would be doing very well in this race, I think. No problem. But there are spots where I just don't know how to see what's coming. Jeez. Where are you putting me, game? Yeah, this may have to be a mulligan at this point. Which is annoying since I don't feel like I'm doing badly except for the frequent wipeouts, which is, you know, a pretty badly doing sort of thing. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it doesn't feel like it's like an issue of having bad stats or whatever, or I'm way in my head, or I just don't know how to navigate this course effectively. None of those things. Forgot that was the one where I have to turn really hard. Okay. That was a really long race. It's like a 10-minute race. But that wasn't going to work out. Guys, leave me alone. Okay, see? Nothing too bad. Although, interestingly, now people are occasionally outspeeding me, it feels like. Not sure why that is. Because prior to now, it felt like any time that I wasn't wiping out, I was just perpetually gaining on everyone. Like that. Alright, so at least with the benefit of knowing the course a little bit more now, I can handle this a bit better. The last segment still throws me way off, though. Where you have all these tree stumps and whatnot that you have no good way of seeing. Oh boy. It's a really awkward hard turn you have to do there. Yeah, see, they take a... The AI takes us on a different path. They take a wider turn than I did. And this is the part that I hate. you not hit all this stuff? Kind of tried going to the right a bit more this time to see if there was more clear land that way, but not really. So if you go too far on the right here, you... Like I said, you go kind of straight from that gate, you don't really hit any logs, I think. So here, guys, this is a place where I find myself losing stability because of my speed. Oh boy. Yeah, for this particular race, it might be worth playing with my shocks to give myself a bit more stability at high speed. Is it going down here now? Yeah, I think I've got a decent grasp on this course now. And see, nice and smooth. There's one guy somewhere that's actually close enough to be on my map. I do still think that Enduro is my favorite kind of race for a few different reasons. One, it is the one that gives you the best opportunity to actually just, like, you know, see around and kind of learn your way around these courses. Or stages, whatever you want to call them. I don't really am sure what to call them. So there's that element, but also... And also on top of that, that spot is really awkward. But the element of being able to decide how to route everything is also a dimension that I just really enjoy. And it feels more in the spirit of the whole, like, oh boy, how did not wipe out there? In the spirit of, you know, all terrain and so on. Even though, of course, like, Supercross and whatnot is a thing. It's going kind of slow and cautious there. You know, that absolutely is a thing that exists. I'm jumping right over those. I find it a much more interesting application of the concept. Just landing at a slight angle again. But it's just that far ahead now. To actually, you know, go through complicated, uneven terrain. As a part of a race and so on. Alright, so now a little victory lap, and I think we'll call it a day. Also, fun fact, I do know for certain that there is this game uses a different pool of names for pro events than for amateur events. I have poked at this game's data a little bit, since this game I think I mentioned at the very start of this series that I've been poking around and, I have made a tool to extract and repack data from Hot Wheels Snowtrack Challenge by the same developer as this game, that is Climax Studios. This game uses an extremely similar archive format, so I want to modify the thing to work with this game as well. I haven't done all of that yet. I do have it extracting the game format, or this game data, but not repacking it yet. But much of the game's data, much like with Snowtrack Challenge, is just stored in XML. Which also revealed things like all the there are two lists of opponent names in this game. Well, kind of four. There's pro and there's amateur. But the pro and amateur both have versions that are for the North American release and for the release everywhere else too. So like PAL regions and so on. The international release gets a name list that has names from a lot more places in the world, whereas the NTSC release base just gets Anglophone and Hispanic names, as you can see in the top left right now. You have Clark, McDonald, Young, and Collins, all fairly Anglophone names, I believe, and then Rivera being a Hispanic name. And this being the NTSC release of the game. I have enough of a lead to take this slightly carefully here, so let's do that. And stay on the road on that last part, that last get, and you won't hit any stumps, really. Are you serious? That was not a bad landing. Oh, come on now. Where'd you come from? There we go. Give me my win. I earned that. You're like, oh, well, you earned that too, probably. Anyways, it's a whole 100 credits for that. Fantastic. I know all the money comes from finishing the tournament, but still, boy. Okay, well, next time then. We will probably move on to some other race. Maybe a short race now? Yeah, we'll see if that's what we do. Is it working a place we've been to yet? No, I don't think so. Well, cool, new place. So are the pro short tracks places that are just like smaller maps designed explicitly for short tracks? I'm not sure, we'll see. Bye everyone.